Hi! Want to learn how to make 4 absolutely stunning cards? 2 that we'll make here step by step, and 2 that are bonus cards that I'm going to share with you. You're just going to flip over them. I am using the Branching Out stamp set this evening, and it is absolutely gorgeous and amazingly versatile. I think it's really fun to use, and I can't wait to share it with you. I'm Julia with Julia Sue's Stamping, and I'm so glad that you're here to hang out with me for a little bit. Thank you. So if this is your first time, whether you're watching live or the replay, welcome, and I am so glad that you are here. We've got, like I said, 2 amazing cards to make step by step, and then I have 2 bonus cards that are included in the tutorial, so you can check them out and see what you think. Grab your supplies, settle in, and let's get ready for a little bit of crafty fun. Before we dive in, please be sure you give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. That way you won't miss any other paper party lives or any of the premieres videos that I share with you for a little bit of crafty inspiration. And if you like the video, please share it with a friend who also enjoys crafting. It means more than I could ever begin to tell you. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and move this camera down to the work surface. So let's grab that. All right, I do already have the some grid paper down because we're going to need it for some of the things that are going to be happening here. And are you ready to see the first card? Here we go. All right, this is a beautiful combination of warm winter tones. This layout is one that you're going to want to use over and over again. And I have a PDF tutorial, so you'd be able to see how all of this rolls. When customers place an order with me, they will receive a free PDF tutorial for the next month's Paper Party Lives. And they also get make and take kits, so they can go ahead and do all the Paper Party Live projects with step-by-step tutorials, with bonus projects, lots of tips, and a video link. So if you save it on your computer, you'd always be able to go back and see what cards were created and follow along with the video after you've cut your papers. So this is the card we're going to be making first. Isn't it cute and just stunning? Look at those branches, the texture, the red, real red frame on it. It all works together so beautifully. So let's go ahead and pull out the make and take items that we're going to need for this project. Like I said, you would get all these in the mail, and I'm gonna grab all of my supplies here. My red berries are stuck. Hopefully everything came out of the bag, but I'm going to keep it handy just in case I forgot something in there. Alrighty, so stay with me here. We're going to go ahead and have the layering on this project. It makes this card a real showstopper. And this is what we're doing first here. I love cards that look impressive but come together really quickly, and this is one of them. Seriously, this layout, it will work for so many different occasions. So here we go. All right, we're going to start with a pecan pie base, and it's cut to 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it in half. I'm going ahead and did it with my bone folder, as you saw, because I always say a nice crisp crease starts a good card. All right, So we're going to bring in some North Pole Delivery Designer Series paper. I'll put it the right way. And I've already die cut mine, but you can absolutely grab any DSP that you want and cut a panel of it about 3 1/8 by 4 1/2 if you don't have these dies. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and put this onto the card front. Like I said, there is step-by-step tutorial with this, so very easy. Now, a frame has already been die cut with those die cuts. Let me show you the die cuts. And this is the stamp set. The branching out stamp set has lots of wonderful sentiments as well as images. And these are the die cuts. And these specifically are the ones that I'm using at this moment. With the cards that I'm creating and sharing with you, I think I use every single one of these. These are so awesome. These frames are just gorgeous. Little acorns, some pine branches, and I called these a berry branch. And then we've got stylish shapes. So these are the coordinating dies, and there are others I'm not showing here. And then a stylish shape one. I see that Tanya's here, and April. Hi. Okay, April says this is going to be the first holiday card she's making. And yeah, it is a holiday card. From our family to yours is what I'm doing with this one. So maybe you have something that will fit into your sentiment piece. That would be great. I'm using some liquid adhesive to put around the edges here and just a little layer of it. There we go, because this will give me just a moment to put it exactly where I want it to go. And if you do not have the frames for these, you can just cut out a rectangle and put your designer series paper on top instead of framing it like this, and it would still look really nice. Okay. Yes, I'm so excited that you are here. Thank you so much, both of you, for hanging out with me for a little bit. It's wonderful. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get that frame on there then. And if you like frames like this, then stick around, because I'm going to show you in the bonus cards how simple layers can look super fancy. All right, so I've got the DSP directly adhered to the card front, and then I added the red frame just a little bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and do a pool party panel right into the center. And I'm going to lift this up with some dimensionals. I think I have some that I've already used some out of. So I'm going to grab these. And if you don't have this little die cut, you can cut a piece that's about 1 3/4 by 3 1/8 or thereabouts. I tried so hard to measure all these, and it's not going to be exact because these die cuts are, they're a little tough to measure. And then I'm going to set this right into the center. I see I have little paper backing stuck to me. I end up with those paper backings all over the place. Okay, I think that is a little crooked, so I'm going to take that off and straighten it out. Okay. Oh, that's better. No, it's not. All right. You know what? I don't know why I'm trying to have perfection here, because I usually don't. Good enough. All right. Very good. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. Then on this piece, that is the Stylish Shapes circle, with the From Our Family to Yours in Early Espresso ink. And pressing down. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. I use Early Espresso a lot today, so I'm just going to leave that out. And then I'm going to take these 2 pine needles, pine branches. I cut one out of Early Espresso, and I see it's got like a chad stuck in there, so I'm going to poke that out, and one in here as well. So if you have any stuck in your die cuts, just poke them out. It's all good. And then I'm going to simply trim off the top green pine needles here. So one, and then I'm going to trim off this pine needle bunch and then put that in recycling. So simply going to use a little bit of liquid adhesive on the back of these pine branches. Is that what we would call these? What do you think they are? Pine branches? And a little bit of liquid adhesive on there. Not too much, just a little. Are you team liquid adhesive or team tape ruler? I tend to be a little of both. How about you? Are you more of a glue user? There we go. So with that in mind, then I found that it was easier to add just a little bit of adhesive onto the pine needle part of my pine branch, and then add these to that right on top. Now you might see a little bit of shadowing with the early espresso, but that's okay. It just adds depth to your card. All right, there. Now I've got both those on. Beautiful. All right, it is taking shape. Look at that. And then I'm simply going to put a little bit of adhesive on the red berry. Are you making the cards as we're doing these? How many holiday cards have you already made, Tanya? She says she's made some holiday cards already. She's been working on them. And you're making them for other people as well. That's nice. All right, so I'm going to put the red berries right next to my pine branch, my pine needle branch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to use a dimensional, only one, behind my sentiment. Then I'm placing the sentiment down here toward the bottom so that it slightly overlaps the red and the designer series paper there. How fun. Now for a little bit of the adhesive onto the pine cone, and I'm tucking it underneath the sentiment. Now I'm going to put a little mini dimensional behind this tiny little baby pine cone. Just they're so little, they're really cute, and they're really detailed. These die cuts are so detailed. And I'm going to nudge it up to the sentiment so it slightly overlaps the other pine cone and the sentiment just a little bit. How cool is that? 50, that's a lot of cards already, and you haven't made any of your own yet? That's amazing. You are a card making machine. Now for the inside, I've got a panel of basic white that I'm going to mat with some real red and place it inside the card. And you could stamp some pine cones or something inside if you wanted to. I think that I like to have a lot of room to write, and so with having it matted with another color, I think it's just really pretty. Okay, well, how about that? That's our first card. It just had some simple steps and absolutely beautiful results. I also included with this kit some delightful decorative dots. And of course, I don't see any of them here at the moment on my workspace. They're here somewhere. They were just here, you know, and what will happen is as soon as I'm done with the live, there they will be. So if you want to use some of the delightful decorative dots on here, that would look really, really pretty. I do. I love those little tiny pine cones too. They're so cute, and I love the details. Don't you just love the little indentations in there? They're so awesome. So that is so easy. And if you enjoyed that card, make sure you hit like really quickly so that YouTube knows you're having fun, and let me know if you're a pine cone person. I'm so glad that we got that one done. Okay, so this was my one that I made before we got started, and look at that. It's so easy to recreate this card. The hardest thing and what takes the longest is the die cuts. And once you have all those done, this comes together super quickly. As you can see, we did that really quickly. Alrighty, so just a second. We're going to stack some of these rectangles, some of these frames, and a larger panel, and get all that going. We do have some envelopes in the Make and Takes, so you can decorate your envelopes as well with some of these stamps if you like. Now, that's really fun to do. Okay, I have card number 2. All right, I'm going to bring these out. When you do a lot of layering on a card, it makes it, I'm just making sure the bag is empty. And I know that's really loud, so sorry. When you do a lot of layering on a card, it makes it look fancy. You can just have the most simple card, but when you have a lot of layering, for some reason, people will be like, ooh, this is a fancy card. So I've got a little bit of basic, thick basic white here for the card base. I'm glad that you like the kits, April, and it's absolutely wonderful to have you here. I'm just so glad that you guys are here. Thank you so much for keeping me some company. I've got Country Woods Designer Series paper today for this card, and it is a full card front size. So we're going to go ahead and let me show you the card first. I should have showed you the card first. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. So if you have the tutorial, you've probably already seen it. But if you don't, here's the card. And this is what we're going to be creating now. We're going to go ahead and use whatever adhesive that you like, whether you're a liquid adhesive person or a tape roller person like me, and adhere the Country Woods Designer Series paper to the front of the card. Alrighty, there we go. Taking it off because I had it really crooked. And place it down. There, whoops. I keep getting it stuck to my finger. There we go. Alrighty. Smoothing it down. Okay. So we've got a crumb cake panel right here, and I already die cut the pine branch. I've decided that's what these are, pine branch out of it, because that way I'm not wasting it or cutting it out of something else. And then we have 2 panels that are smaller in size. This is so easy. This is just amazingly easy. We're going to go ahead and adhere the crumb cake panel directly to the card front. So use whatever adhesive you like. And I'm putting mine in the center. Maybe you would like to have yours kind of offset. That's whatever you would like to do. And now what I'm going to do is take the smallest panel, and that's our focal piece here. I'm going to ink up the Happiest Birthday Wishes stamp with early espresso ink. And this will give me, I'm going to go ahead and do the sentiment first, because that will help me know where to put all my other pieces, so I know how much room I have. All right, so then now that I know how much room I have, I'm going to take the smaller branch, ink it up, and this is why I have the grid paper to protect my work surface. I'm going to put it in right here in the upper corner of that panel of white that has been die cut. All right, now I'm going to use some garden green, and the 3 pine needles that are a little bit further spread apart in garden green work perfectly right here. And I hope I can see it well enough on camera and not get my head in there. Ooh, yay, it worked. Okay, how about that? I'm obviously really thrilled with that. Okay, so we've got that done, and now, while we've got that ink out, I'm going to take a sponge dauber and get the ends of the pine branch and turn them green. So just daubing this. Next week we have got a technique that we're going to do, and we have a fun fold card. I think you're going to love it. It is all with the same stamp set, which is so incredibly versatile. You can do holiday cards with this, birthday cards with this, thinking of you cards. It's just insane how versatile this is. Alrighty, now I have the crumb cake ink and another sponge dauber. Maybe. Okay, come on and open. There we go. All right, got it open. What do you use to stamp? April says that she is impressed with my stamping with a block. So what is it do you use? No, not a block, or just you think I'm pretty quick with them? Okay, what we're going to do with this is we are going to soften the edges to give this a vintage, cozy feel. For a second there, I was scared that I had the wrong dauber, but I didn't. I grabbed the correct one. And I'm simply going to go all along the edge here to just give this a little bit of an aged patina. I'm going up to pretty much like the dotted line with this right there. This is such a calming activity, but I love how this will help this focal panel stand out and set it apart from the other white one that we're going to set it on, so that the layers just look outstanding. It's really pretty. Okay, and when you're satisfied with how your shading looks on the outside of the focal piece, okay, yeah, we used to have like a Stamp-A-Majig or a Stamparatus kind of thing. So that's what you use, April. You put your stamps on one side and you have your paper on the other, and then you get it over there. That is cool. Yeah. Tanya says that she has a lot of mistakes by trying to line things up. We all do. We all do. Okay, so now that we have that done, we're simply going to adhere the focal point to the other white panel, and it is so much fun when I see people on the lives or chatting together. It is so cool to see that. It's like making a friend. All right, and now I'm going to use dimensionals and pop up these 2 white pieces that I have put together. The focal point is on the larger white, and then we're simply going to adhere them both right on top of the crumb cake piece that we've done the die cut out of. But no one will ever know that it had something die cut, right? Because we are hiding it. Very good. How cool is this? It's so pretty, really serene. And this could easily be a Christmas card as well, or a get well card. Like I said, I'm making it into a happy birthday myself. Now, a little bit of adhesive on the back here. So the pine branches get a little bit of adhesive on them. Not too much, just a little dab will do ya. Because we don't want it to squish out everywhere. We just want it to adhere. Okay. Yeah, when you do the ink on the edge, it does make it look so elegant. Now, what I'm going to do is just nudge this pine branch underneath the white piece just the tiniest bit, and I'm letting it also overlap on the outside, because all I'm going to do is open it up and hopefully find my scissors and snip it. Again, it's going to be our secret that it was hanging over the edge. No one will ever know. And card number 2 is done. How about that? Really easy, aren't they? These cards are super quick, really easy, and the die cuts just make them look outstanding. This is a really fabulous bundle with the branching out. I was sold as soon as I saw those die cuts that make these frames. I was like, oh yeah, I can use those for a lot of things. Yes, yes, yes. So really fun. Here's the one that I did originally, and I like this one better actually because I did a better job of the stamping with the pine needles. But yeah, yay! How easy is this? Okay. Well, we've stacked all that up and we've got all our layers together. You can finish the inside the same way as the first card if you want. If you have other panels of basic white or coordinating cardstock. Since this is white, I decided to not worry about it today. You know, you can put a little bit of designer series paper inside if you want to fancy it up. So it's awesome. I just love it when a stamp set can be an all year long workhorse, right? And the branching out absolutely 100% is going to do that. I just can't stop using it. I'm using it for so many things. So I'm going to go ahead and move the grid paper now because I'm done with that. I want to share with you the really fun part, the bonus cards. All right, are you ready? These are in the PDF. But I'm not going to be making them tonight because you do not want to miss seeing these. All right, are you ready to see what else you can do with this set? Look at this beauty. I have got the frame on there. I did some background stamping with the pine needles. Some of the die cuts, this time the berries are an early espresso. The pine branches I did in Mossy Meadow. And this is Mossy Meadow and gold ribbon with a thinking of you brings joy to my heart card. How cool is that? These are the holographic resin dots. I had them included. Thank you, April. I'm glad you think it's gorgeous. I love this. And I put these in the last make and take kit. So if you have any extras, you could use them on the cards that you make. But I used the splatters and decorated the frame. So it's so beautiful. And inside, some early espresso. No, I'm wrong. Some Mossy Meadow is matting some basic white. So very easy, very quick card. The hardest thing was doing the die cuts, and then it was a piece of cake from there. All right, and this one might be my favorite. Look how fresh and bright these pine needles are. I just love these. It's the two-tone pine needles here. I first stamped them in lemon lime twist, and then I didn't have to clean the stamp because it was a lighter color. I took it straight to Old Olive and used the same stamps for that and made it a two-tone. Doesn't that look fresh and bright? It's got an early espresso matte. I've got it lifted up on dimensionals to help give it some lift. So fun. This is a really quick and easy layout. I used the earthy matte dots on it. And wishing you a day filled with many happy moments can be for just about anything, really. Great birthday card or a thinking of you. And this one does have early espresso inside. So matting the basic white. And I've got little pine cones and crumb cake all over the sides. How cool is that? I love this card. Like I said, I think it's my favorite. So if you love these cards, you're going to want to make sure you get that full PDF. It has all 4 tutorials in it. And let me find the other card here. It has measurements, supplies, And now the instructions, very, very clearly laid out. Trying to get them all on camera. Okay, there we go. And the PDF is listed, the link to it is listed in the description, so please be sure you check it out. It is not very expensive. It's in my online store, and it's a really great way to help support my channel so I can help keep creating and sharing with you. So before we go, which one of these cards is your favorite? I really want to know. Which one do you like the best? Which one do you think is the one that you would really love to make? All right, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. You're the heart of this community, and it means the world to me, absolutely, that you're willing to spend some time with me. I really hope that these cards inspire you to create something beautiful this week. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to decide. Which card do you like the best, isn't it? Okay, the first one and the third one. Nice, good choices. How about you? Which one's your favorite? All right. Let's see. April, I tape a lot of things down. Love the elegance. Yeah, the colors of the first are so fun and cheery, right? I'm so glad that you were here. Thank you so much. And I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And that you have a chance to get inky. All right, thanks for joining me. Bye.